God, I pray, Lord, as we start to transition from games and then to singing and now looking into your word, that we would see that all life, even in this moment of now, is an opportunity for worship, whatever we're doing. I pray, Lord, that you would help us to build on our trust in you, that we have our eyes open to the reality that life flows from that. It's a big decision. We come through big decisions all the time, but this is huge of whether we're going to trust you with our life. We're going to trust you in each moment of the day. I pray, Lord, that we would, and that you would challenge us in that tonight. So in your name we pray. Amen. So we're going to open your Bibles to Proverbs. Proverbs is it right smack dab in the middle of your Bible. Psalms, Proverbs, you get through Ecclesiastes if you've gone too far. But I'll look at Proverbs chapter 3 tonight, verses 5 through 8. I'll really focus it on verse 5. But we're going to be diving into this book over the next couple of months. And this book was, if you don't know anything about this, written by a guy by the name of Solomon, who wrote it. As you can see throughout this, oftentimes each chapter starts with him addressing a certain person. It says, oftentimes, it's to my son. He says this over and over and over again. So this is a book that's written by a dad to give his son some instructions on how to live wisely, how to go about life well. It's not like most how-to books, though. Have you guys ever read any how-to books? How to do this, how to change an engine, or how to change your oil, I should say, not necessarily change the engine, or how to... Have you ever done any how-to books? I got a few how-to for dummies books. These are not mine. I do own a how-to for dummies book. Does anybody have a book like this at home? Any how-tos for dummies? What are the books that you guys have? But I have a how-to coach soccer for dummies, as I try to coach my daughter's soccer team, and I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to soccer, so I had to try to learn about it. Blake?
My parents got one when they got their iPhones. Like
How to run an iPhone for dummies. Okay, all right. What else? You have one at home, JT? Anybody else have how to speak Spanish for dummies?
It's something on like computer software.
Okay, how to run your PC or how to run your Mac or whatever your type of computer you have for dummies. I mean, if you go into, I'm not sure if it's in the library, but if you go to a bookstore, you will find how-to books, galore, all sorts of different subjects. I put up there just a couple of things: how to play the piano for dummies, how to coach basketball for dummies, how to do high-performance computing for dummies. I mean, I couldn't do most of that stuff. I like to play basketball. I couldn't coach it. I could use some how-to dummies for stuff. It's a wealth of information. It's a wealth of knowledge. It's good for you to go to. And most how-to books, I mean, I'm not sure how you read yours or if you ever have. I don't necessarily read from front to end. What I typically do when it comes to a how-to book, I look for the 1 questions that I have, or maybe 10 questions I have, go figure those out, and the rest I just kind of put it on a shelf and don't ever look at it again. Is that kind of have you guys ever used a how-to book before? Anybody? Has anybody just got your parents at home that do it? Maybe as you get older and you have more responsibilities, and it's or things in your house start to break, and you're like, I don't know what to do with this. More than likely, you probably won't go to a book. More than likely, you might just go to YouTube, and I've done that a number of times too. But this is not like most how-to books. Proverbs is not like that at all. As I've used how-to for dummies books, it gives me some reference points to look at, but this is completely different. As I said before, it's written by whom? Do you guys remember? Were you guys listening? It was written by who? It was written by Solomon to who? To his son, absolutely. So a dad to his son, but also the book of Proverbs. Hey guys. The book of Proverbs was also used as young men of Israel society, who were being groomed for positions of leadership. They also used this book to gain wisdom from. But it's a book that's super practical that all of us can use it. If you've ever read through the book of Proverbs, you would see lots of things that you could pick up for information as far as how to go about life. Does anybody know any of the subjects that are contained in the book of Proverbs? Wisdom for life. Does anybody have any clues of some of the subjects that it contains?
It talks about anger.
Okay, anger. Anybody else? Joey?
It makes a lot of references about like foolish people.
Okay,
Like the
yeah.
difference between, like,
Yeah, it contrasts the foolish to the wise, absolutely.
Trusting in the Lord with all your heart.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 says exactly that. Yes, absolutely. So there's a lot of different things in here. I was thinking through this, just a couple of topics to think through. It gives warning to the danger of sexual immorality. It shows the benefits of a good relationship, whether that's in a marital relationship, whether that's in a friendship, whether it's in a parent-child relationship. It shows some of the benefits. It also shows some of the dangers of going against that, of things to be aware of. It gives sage advice on how to use and view money. Does anybody know what sage means?
It's just spice.
What's that? It is a spice. It is not the spice that I'm talking about. It just gives, this is another way to say wise advice, good advice. It gives a well-discerned advice on how to use and view money. It also gives wisdom on choosing carefully the words you say. It's important, the things that come out of your mouth to whoever they may be, whether it's to your friend or to a stranger, whether it's to your mom or your dad or your teacher, the things you say are important. It has some things in the book of Proverbs to say on that. It also gives some great comparisons between being lazy and working hard. And this is just to scratch the surface, and this is some of the things that we will actually be talking about in the next coming months. But it makes a difference. It makes a difference what you do. You have lots of decisions throughout your day, but the book of Proverbs gives some how-tos of how to go about it. And in the midst of this study, you will be given a lot of choices to think through as you evaluate your life right now, as you evaluate your life moving forward. And I say that you're going to be given a lot of choices through the book of Proverbs. I really think it does come down to one choice. Because I think there's lots of smaller choices, I do believe there's one overarching decision. Because although the book of Proverbs gives a lot of instructions on how to go about living, it's not like most other how-to books. It starts really with one big question, one big decision. The decision revolves around whether or not you will trust Jesus. And I believe that this decision, how you answer this decision specifically, changes your life. When you base your decisions on your trust in the Lord versus your trust in yourself, your life takes a dramatic change. You see, when you trust the Lord, when trust in the Lord is not something reserved just for our times at church or our times here on Sunday nights. It's a big decision that covers every other decision. It starts right there. Just like we talked about in our Sunday school class for the past couple of weeks, awe has profound impact and encompasses everything. So does our trust in the Lord. So before we talk about wisdom, before we talk about making wise choices and how to specifically do things in life, I believe it's important for us to first focus in on our trust in the Lord. And so that's what brings us to looking at Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 through 8. And so if you guys would, I hope you guys have your Bibles open. We're going to look at that here tonight. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 through 8. As this sets the stage and this lays the foundation for everything else, for all other wisdom that you find. Your trust and how you use your money, how you choose your friends, how you say the things that you say, it all starts with the foundation of whether or not I'm going to trust in the Lord. And so let's go ahead and read this verse. These 4 verses. Actually, could someone read that for me? Proverbs chapter 3, starting in verse 5, we'll read through verse 8.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. It will be healing to your flesh and refreshment to your bones.
All right. So trust. This is huge. It has profound impact on your life. Whether you trust in the Lord. That's where it has to start. When you say, if I want to be wise, and I want to follow the instructions that's given to me here in the book of Proverbs, it starts with that first question of whether I'm going to trust in God. I'm going to completely trust in Him. How would you guys define, Sam, I see you standing off into the distance. How would you guys, Sam, how would you define trust? So you can't, yeah, absolutely. What do you think? It's a hard one. All right, so somebody else. How would you define the word trust? If I'm saying this is super important and it lays the foundation for everything else in this study, but really everything else in life, whether you're going to trust God or whether you're going to not trust God, it's important to define the word. How would you define the word trust? JT?
It's like if you believe that person will make the right decision.
Okay. All right, so if I trust you, you're saying that I believe that when choices need to be made, you will make the right decisions, right? If I'm saying that I trust you, I'm just basically believing in your choices. Okay. All right, Andy, do you have your hand raised?
Yeah, isn't it faith?
What's that?
Isn't having faith?
Yeah, I think, a synonym for trust is faith. Yeah, I would say for sure. Blake, and then we'll go Josh.
A firm belief.
Oh my goodness, you looked it up? All right, go ahead. All right, what do you have?
Firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something.
Okay. Sounds very definition-y. If that's a word, I'm going to make it up. All right, what do you got, Josh?
Confidence in the success of something.
Okay, confidence in the success of something. All right. So, if you're going to translate that into trust in the Lord, how would you use your definitions? Confidence in the Lord. I mean, it's something, but it's not something. It's someone.
Yeah, kind of insert in your trusting there.
What's that?
I don't know. It was kind of like the something to do whatever you trust.
Okay.
So,
Something or someone.
confidence in,
Okay.
abilities to succeed.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So this is huge. I mean, I looked at the definition. I've actually the definition. It's a little bit different than Blake's. What's the definition that I found is that defining trust is the assured reliance on the character, ability, strength, or truth of someone or something. Or, as another way to say it, one in which confidence is placed. So if I'm going to say that I'm going to trust in God, I am fully confident in Him. I am assured beyond all shadow of a doubt that God is reliable. His character is reliable, His ability is reliable, that His strength is reliable, that He is the absolute truth, and there is no wavering from it whatsoever. I can place my full trust, my full confidence, as Josh would say, I don't like that word, or as even Andy would say, is faith. I can place that completely into the Lord because I believe and I'm assured that He is reliable. And so if I'm going to say that I'm going to trust in the Lord, if I'm going to encourage you to trust in the Lord, how do you go about doing that? How do you go about strengthening that trust? Is it just, all right, Andy, I'm telling you, you need to trust the Lord. And you're just kind of like, all right, sure, I'll do it. No problem. No, it can't be just that. It can't be just, well, you need to do it. Okay, I will. No, it's more than that. How do you go about growing in that trust in the Lord?
You have to study Him and His word.
Yeah, you have to study. You have to get to know Him. I mean, so how do you come to trust the Lord? You get to know Him. You must come to know Him. You don't trust in what you don't know, right? If I was walking down the street and I said, all right, that person looks pretty nice. I'm going to ask them if they can come over and watch my kids tonight. You'd be like, you're a fool. Nobody does that. He's like, why are you like blowing your eyes out of your head? Because it doesn't make sense, right? Because I don't trust them. I don't know that person from anybody. There's only a few people even in here that I would say, I trust you enough to come over and watch my kids. There's very few in here. I will say that our top babysitter is in here. Jackie's our number one go-to.
Like this, I like laugh.
Yeah.
That would have been embarrassing. Thanks for the compliment.
But you guys think what I'm saying is that. Hey, clap for Jackie.
Teacher inside of
She should win an award.
So no, but like.
Really, it's other level.
All right.
Most reliable babies.
But you only trust what you know. And so, like a person, we keep talking about this even further. I mean, like a person, like if I were to say that, like, and, Nathaniel's a very trusting person, and if I heard from Nathaniel, he's just kind of like, well, the first person that offers his friendship to him, he trusts, and like the first person that you would come along and say, all right, that person in the park, I trust him, he's my friend. We're going to be best friends forever. I mean, that would be like a blind person placing his trust in a stranger. You don't do that. All lasting trust is based on knowledge. And so let me just give you guys a second here. If you guys would, I got a whiteboard up here. I've got some markers up here. I want you to write down some things for me. If you guys would, just come up here. You guys can come up here as much as you want at a time. And just say, all right, I'm trying to answer this question of how do I come to a better understanding of who God is? How do I do that? If you guys could, write something up here on the board for me. How do I come to a better knowledge of God? Say, if I can only grow in trust by knowing Him more, what are some ways that I can get to know Him better?
Oh, yeah.
Andy, I can't do that.
I'm going to read that note right here.
I know.
I can do
Move.
it. Take a one.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
dog.
So we got praying,
Wrong one.
reading the Bible, okay?
Take one.
Write down the Bible.
Reach on the Bible.
There's the whole thing in the
Emily, I almost wore that.
All right, so we got study His Word. We got see how He forgave me. Seek His attributes. Praying, reading the Bible. Is this it? Do you think of anything else? Say, if I'm going to grow in my knowledge of God, this is as exhaustive as the list gets.
No.
No? What else did you put on here? Anybody else?
Yeah, curse. Yeah. Sorry.
Alright. So now this list has gotten as big as it's going to get. We're going to talk about, alright, so I want to know God. These are the only places I can do this. Do that. This is the only place. This list has gotten exhaustive as far as how to come to a better knowledge of God. I think this list is pretty huge. I mean, if we talk about, we talk about some of these right here. I mean, it's got to start here. It's got to start here. Without that, I mean, it's got to start with the study of God's Word, and I do believe that wholeheartedly. I mean, that is number one on the list of how I come to know who God is. Romans chapter 1 gives some explanation as far as studying His creation. Yeah, God has revealed Himself even through the created things of this world. Absolutely, for sure. Anything else? Come on up here. Come on, someone. Put something else up here.
There you go.
Man.
I'm gonna put some things up here too.
Another. Come on, Jackie. Come on, Jackie. Another one.
Instead of home.
She has teacher handwriting.
It is teacher
Boy, Josh.
Josh A. It's say like this.
That's
Alright. So we got a pretty good list here. Alright.
99 steps.
Here, so we've got a pretty good list here. We talk about reading God's Word. I mean, super important. Absolutely. I mean, I want to say, I think all of these are really good at coming to a better understanding, better knowledge of who God is. I mean, I had to put this one on here. I mean, I think that this is super, this is super important, but also, I mean, it's a great resource that we have that there are many godly individuals over the course of history that have written some really great things in their understanding of God, and we can be able to pass that on to us. I'm not sure how many of you guys are readers. I never was at your age, but the older that I've become, the more I've come to a better understanding of the resources that we have that have been given to us, that have been passed on to us from godly individuals. And so I want to read them. I want to read about them. I want to read what they've learned about God. Spending time with Him in prayer. Jackie's erasing hers. Are we back there in your dictionary?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so spending time in worship. Who put this? So what do you mean by this?
I think you get a better understanding of God by worshiping.
Okay.
You might by singing different songs, you may see different attributes.
Okay.
And that other one.
All right. Man, this is important. This is huge. This is something we need in our lives, is to get to a better understanding of who God is. And it can't be just enough for me to give my understanding of God to you. It's something that you need to search out for yourselves. As you come to a better understanding of God, better knowledge of God, I do believe that is the only way that you're going to come to a greater trust of God. And you must grow in your knowledge of who God is. You must come to a greater realization, even in your study of God. You think that you will come to a better understanding of who you are? Yeah, absolutely. In your study of who God is, you'll understand a little bit about who you are, what you've done even to offend God. I mean, as you study God, you can't help but come across how much we don't deserve to have any type of relationship with God at all. As you come to a growing understanding and knowledge of who God is, I hope that it turns into not just this intellectual knowledge, but it turns into this awe of Jesus and what He's done to rescue you. It goes from your intellect to your emotions, and that translates into the things that you do. At least that should be the natural progression of it. As you understand who God is, and you come to a greater love for who He is, that should transition into this trust where we that we throw our whole lives over to Him and say, God, you're my everything. I'm handing it completely over to you. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 is encouraging you to have this type of trust, this type of belief, that you literally bet your life on God's truth and wisdom. Here's what I mean when I would say bet your life on this. How many things are you really worth, that you're really willing to bet your life on? Your age? Not a whole lot, right? I mean, you're willing to bet your life on it that Indiana basketball is going to win the national championship this year? You would bet your life on that? No. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. There's not too many things that you can bet your life on, but I want you to encourage you to bet your life on the worthiness of who God is. I want you to bet your life on it like this. I want to show you guys a video. It's a couple of minutes long, but I think it's really cool. I want you to risk your life, not necessarily in this type of way, but I want you to bet your life on the truth of God, kind of similar to this.
Yo, what up?
Not much.
That's cool.
Okay, later.
Peace.
Little baby man, so sweet, so blameless. All he ever wanna do is just be famous. But dad and the mommy always said to him, you and your dumb dreams might as well be dead to him. One day, when walking through the park, it was dark, but he heard a little voice in his heart. And he looked to the left and he saw with his own eyes a blue sky and cats beginning to fly.
Slow down and wait a sec. This time I'm gonna take a breath. What? I'm fine. It's time to join these kitties and begin to fly.
Little baby man, so sweet, so blameless. All he even wanna do is just be famous. Like a chicken chick boogie boy, doing everything you can with a little joy.
Hello?
Yo, it's me again.
Oh, hey.
What up?
Oh, you know, nothing.
Ha, that's cool.
How about you?
Oh, same old.
That's cool.
Yeah, see ya.
Later.
Yeah, peace.
Alright, how many of you guys would be willing to do that? I'm sure a lot of you would. But like, but here's the thing. Hey, but here's the thing, is that many of you guys, I mean, you talk about betting your life on that rope, right? I mean, I'm betting my life that this rope is going to catch me. And obviously, it was the whole arrow into the rocks, that was just part of the video. It was anchored in, I would imagine, better than just a arrow shot into the car. Yeah. So, but like, just like that, of risking, of really betting our lives that this, whatever it is, a couple 100-foot drop, this rope is going to save my life. You're putting your whole life into into the strength of this little cord on the top of this mountain. But like I want to encourage you. I want to even value, for you to evaluate your life and saying, is my trust built that solidly into the Lord? So I'm handing my life completely over to you, God, and say, God, you do with it whatever you want me to do. I will say what you want me to say. I will do what you want me to do, and I will do anything you want. Because God, it's all about you and it's all for you. And I'm not talking about just in the big things. Sometimes we'll say, "Oh, God, I'll give you my life. If you want me to go to China, I'll go to China." Yeah, that would be awesome. I would love that. I mean, if you're going to say, you know what, God, if you want me to go serve you in Cambodia for the rest of my life, I'll do that. I think those are huge. Now, that would be amazing to do. But I want to encourage you also as well, saying, God, if you want me to honor my parents tonight, I'll do it. Because I see how worthy you are of my trust and of my love and of my affection. And that has a foundation for everything that I do. God, my life is completely in your hands. I will hand it completely over to you. But what keeps us? What keeps us from that type of trust, where we place our lives completely in the hands of God? What holds us back?
Our wants.
Our wants, absolutely. I mean, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5, I want to look at this. It's the flip side of trust. What is it that we have a tendency to do? And Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 says, the reason it says this, lean not on your understanding, on your own understandings. Why is it? We have a tendency to do that. If we didn't have a tendency to lean on our own understandings, there would be no need for Solomon to write that down to his sons, to write that down for us. Is that we get in the way. We have this inherent, built-in trust in ourselves. But leaning on ourselves, our own knowledge, our own strength, our own experience, is like leaning in on a broken crutch. I mean, you can do it, but you're not going to get very far. You're not going to get very far successfully. I don't know if you guys have ever broken your legs. Have you ever broken your leg before? Had to walk with crutches? Nobody in here? I've never had to do that either, thankfully. But I can only imagine if I am going to use crutches, I want to make sure that it's sturdy. I'm gonna weigh over 200 pounds, and I'm gonna put weight onto a crutch. I want to make sure that it's solid. I don't want something that's broken that's gonna make me fall down, do myself hurt any further. It's leaning on our understanding is like leaning on a broken crutch. And if we don't keep bringing ourselves back to the Word of God and continually committing our trust to the Lord, we will inevitably lean on our own understanding. Or even as verse 7 goes to say, we'll become wise in our own eyes. And being wise in our own eyes, doing it our own way is a dangerous place to be. The Bible even says that it's a worse state to be in than being a fool. To do things our own way. So, Proverbs chapter 26, verse 12 says, you see a man who is wise in his own wise, there's more hope for a fool than for him. In Romans chapter 12, it says, never be wise in your own sight. It's a dangerous place to be. I'd rather be a fool than be wise in my own eyes. And I would actually really say that being wise in my own eyes is being a fool. And so we need to put our trust in the Lord. Take, for example, you guys think about the Old Testament. What are some of the Old Testament? What's some of your favorite accounts, some of the favorite stories that you hear throughout the entire Old Testament? Where you see that people place their trust in the Lord completely. If you think about the Old Testament, if you think about any place where people place their trust in the Lord so completely, it just kind of blows your mind.
I can't remember if it was Exodus or one of those books. The people are bit by poisonous snakes and they have to look upon a staff of a snake to be cured of poison.
Yeah, completely putting their trust in God in those moments, saying, God, believe what you say, and I'll be healed. But look at that staff. Absolutely. Just look it up. For sure. Where else?
Noah in the ark.
Noah in the ark. Yeah, absolutely. Place their trust in God. Noah and his family placed their trust in God so much that they built this huge boat in the middle of the desert. It didn't make sense, but they trusted the Lord, for sure. Abraham. How so? Give me an example from Abraham. Where?
He took the stuff his family left.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm heading to wherever God leads me to go. Absolutely.
I like a lot of the accounts of Daniel.
Okay.
And how they had trusted about with the Israelites.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Rahab. You didn't know that Joey put a Facebook page of Rahab and with Ohio State with flag hanging out the window. Yeah. Sure. All right. How about another example? One of my favorite examples from the Old Testament is David and Goliath. And you take the differences between the people of Israel and David himself. If you guys know anything about what took place there in 1 Samuel, the battle between David and Goliath. Before David showed up, does anybody know how long Goliath had been coming out every morning to mock the people of Israel, to mock the armies of Israel, saying, hey, someone fight me, fight me, fight me. For how many days in a row? 40 days in a row. Emily had her hands up there first.
She's savage.
So 40 days in a row, these Israelites, they refused to do what? They basically refused to place their trust in God. For 40 days in a row, Goliath came out and said, hey, your God is not real. You guys are puny. You guys are wimps. You guys cannot step up to the challenge and beat me. And so basically, for 40 days in a row, all the Israelites, they leaned on their own understanding. Their own understanding was, it's safe in my tent. It's safe on this side of the valley. My own understanding led me to believe that if I don't go out into that field, everything will be that much better. And then
Just get bored and come up to your tent.
Possibly so. But for 40 days is what happened. And not a single man from Israel, for the Israelite army, stepped forward until a young shepherd boy showed up. Each of those Israelites, they were leaning on their own understanding, and David shows up, and what does he do? He's like, I trust God. David shows up and says, I'll go. David shows up and goes, the Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion, looking for the pall of the bear who delivered me from the hand of the Philistine. I mean, inner wisdom and leaning on his own understanding would have left David to just drop off to lunch with his brothers and leave and head back home. But he trusted in the Lord, and it completely changed his life. And when we kind of think about your life, we kind of think about our lives, I don't believe it's that different than David's situation. I mean, more than likely, you're never going to face a giant that's 9 feet tall, and he's going to battle you towards the death. But on a regular basis, you will be given the choice of whether you'll trust the Lord and obey the instructions of your parents that God has placed in charge of you. So you know what? From my own understanding and from my way of looking at it, I'd rather do something else. You'll be given other choices. You'll be given a choice to trust the Lord and spend the money that you have that's been entrusted to you in a way that's honoring to God or a way that's honoring to your own understanding. We'll have the choice to trust the Lord and pursue the friendships that God made us for, or we'll choose friendships that go along more along the lines of not with wisdom but with foolishness. And I know what I said when we first started out, that I do believe that you are one decision away from a totally different life. And I do believe that. But it's a decision that you need to recommit to it every day. I'm going to trust the Lord today with each decision that I make. And it's not something that happens overnight as far as a deep, strong, lasting trust. It's like a friendship. How long does it take to become good friends with somebody? It takes time. It takes commitment. So, if I want to grow my trust in God, I need to start first with a commitment. Giving my heart completely to God, and then a lifetime of walking faithfully with Him. And so I encourage you. We don't have any time. I actually was going to break into smaller groups tonight. There isn't time for that. You guys can see the bottom of your page. But I want to encourage you guys to dive in, to go completely all out.